coming up on this week's episode. We're back. It's season 2. We're fresh and ready to go. We'll be talking to you about all the changes, what's been going on in our lives over the last few weeks, and more. All in this week's episode of... Help! I'm stuck in a program! My name is Fraser.
And my name is Kai.
Oh my god, Kai, is good to be back.
I was going to say yes it is, but that's what came out instead.
We've got new artwork, we've got new everything,
and we've got
diddly
I think that's my favourite part of all of this.
Yeah, oh my god. I love the new intro track. It's so nice.
I'm sure that was perfectly out of time with what's actually happening there.
It's stopped by now.
Oh.
Yeah, so goodbye. Anyway, yeah, how have you been, Kai? Is that how you've been?
Yeah, nothing's really changed that much in my life.
Just the dilly.
Yeah, just the diddly-lilies. That's
Brilliant.
what's happened.
Lovely.
I'm good. How have you been?
Yeah, and I've been doing good as well. It's been... do you know what? I think it's probably been a very busy start to the year, despite us not going anywhere. I think there's been so much. There's been so much that's been going on, and I've been able to crack on with quite a few things in different areas. That's like personal, work, hobbies. I know I've been focusing on the channel. The diddle, of course.
Yeah.
Focusing on this rebrand, focusing on our channel. My attention is kind of like everywhere at the moment, and of course, I still want to give myself that bit of free time to make sure that I've got a good balance of work and life and chill. So yeah, it's all been good so far.
That's good. I'm glad.
Do you know what I can't believe though?
Is it the Liz?
That, and also it's the end of January already.
I know, and look what we've all accomplished this month.
Nothing.
Yep.
Although you might have accomplished something, and if you have, congratulations. But it's definitely been a very strange first month to the year. It just doesn't feel like it's been a month,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nothing that's really been going on, is there? Still.
Yeah.
And I guess what do we do from here? What is there to do?
We'll see what happens, I guess. If you've been doing something that's been awesome and you want to tell us about it, make sure you tweet us at @StuckInAPodcast. We want to know what you have been up to in the first few weeks of this year. What have you done on month number 1 of 2021? Let us know at @StuckInAPodcast.
What have you done in month number 1, Fraser? What's name 3 things that have stood out the most for you?
Okay, well...
or 3 things you're proud of that you've done this month.
Okay. Right, so the first thing that I've done this month, which I've been proud of, is I've bought myself something new, which we'll talk about later on.
A new...
well, we'll find out. 2...
Oh, that's my favourite kind of new thing.
2, I've still kept on track with my upload schedule.
Very good.
I thought I was going to take a break of uploading. I took 1 week of streaming break, but I thought I was going to take a break of uploading. I didn't, so I've kept on track with that. And 3,
good.
I've been working super duper hard at work, making sure that I'm on track. I'm getting everything done as quickly and efficiently as possible, and still outputting good quality work. And well, so far it's paying off. Oh,
very nice.
4, I've also finally deposited some more money in my Help to Buy limited ISA. So that's another thing. I'm sorting myself out for the rest of my life for when I do eventually move out. What about you, Kai? What 3 things have you done this month?
Well,
that you're proud of?
I also bought something.
Ooh.
Which is the first time I think I've ever bought something like that. Just straight up, which has been very nice.
Mm-hmm.
What else have I done? I've started getting back into my own upload schedule and stuff again, doing stuff, which is very nice.
Yep.
Including that sponsored video we did, which I sent you a bunch of things, which was a lot of fun.
You did?
Sent both you and Sherry some things. Go check it out if you haven't already. Kai Ross-Best on YouTube. But I'm trying to get back into like that sort of schedule of doing 2 videos a week and maybe like a stream as well on YouTube.
Yeah, good idea.
So because I think that's more achievable than 3 or 4 videos a week and a stream and then stuff over elsewhere. Because I've also been doing some Twitch streams. Woo! Which is, it's a bit weird to do that sort of stuff, because I've never really done Twitch streams before. But it's nice to kind of start getting into them a little bit more.
That's good.
So I think that's the things I'm quite proud of. I will say the one thing I have really noticed this month is ad revenue is awful.
Uh-oh, yeah, it's the January blues, ain't it?
It's so bad. Usually my PO box videos, I'll say this, they do pretty well because they're longer videos in general, yeah. And they've got they get like pretty much the most views that most of my videos get, as well as also most watch time. Yeah. I've only earned £10 for my recent one.
No way.
Which is obviously better than nothing, but usually it's about 5 or 6 times more at least. Yeah. So it's definitely a big difference with January.
Gosh.
But, oh well, January, whatever, who cares? Worst month of the year.
Let's look, February's better. I mean, they'll start advertising for Valentine's and all that soon, so it'll be good.
Ah, just as I've released my Valentine's video already in January.
See, you were all ready to go.
Let's just hope that gets pushed back out. But no, otherwise, I think it's not been too bad of a start of the year,
that's good.
It's been bad, but it could have been worse, I think,
Of course. No, good. That's good to hear.
If we move on to the main thing I'm sure people are really talking about here, we'll get it out of the way and done with early on. How about that? Does that sound good?
Yeah, we'll talk about what's going on with the podcast, and then we'll go on to that topic.
Yeah.
So, with this being season 2 of the podcast, as you can tell from the title of this episode, we've gone and made some changes. Because as we mentioned at the end of last year, we wanted to restructure how I'm Stuck in a Podcast. So we absolutely love the podcast format being like chatty, just general chill with us having a good time every single week. You hear about it. We want to introduce not only things that are going on in our lives, because obviously there's only so much that's going on in our lives with the length of lockdown, and the longer the pandemic is going on, the longer we have no idea how long we're going to be in this for, and then we get out of it. We want to change it so we're not just talking about our lives, but we're talking about some set topic each week, and also we want to get on some more guests, because we've promised this before, but it's just been hard to get some special guests. But now we're going to definitely work on focusing on getting some special guests onto these episodes. So the first main thing that everybody heard at the very, very start of this episode was we've got a brand new intro. As you can tell, Kai's favourite part is like the bit where it goes. It's a really nice one. I like it. It's definitely it brings a more upbeat vibe to the episode, don't you think? You're being so painful. But that's a good impression of the intro, to be honest.
Yeah. See, I've only listened to it like once or twice, and it's stuck in my head forever.
It's good, isn't it? It really brings a nice upbeat impression.
You know what? It's what in a music in like a music stance, people would say it's that annoying song that gets stuck in your head and you come back to it constantly.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
So it's perfect for something you want to get people to come back to. Gonna start using it at the beginning of all my videos and stuff as well.
What we've also done as well is at the very start of the episode, you didn't hear it this week, but what we're going to do is we're probably going to introduce the episode in some form of funny way. So we'll introduce it in a funny way, we'll go for our usual intro, and then of course we'll introduce what's going to happen in the episode, because we were experimenting with this when we were trying out the intro track. Like, what should we say in front of it? Obviously, previously in the previous season, we'd go, coming up on this next episode, then we'll go this, that, and the other things that we would actually be talking about. But we're thinking, what if we say something that's really funny, that's definitely not going to happen, but would sound absolutely hilarious if we said it? And we think we're going to do that. So if you hear a bunch of, not random lol XD things, but if you hear a bunch of funny things being said, and then us not talking about it, that's all going to be done intentionally, okay?
Also, as well as that, you can see if you look at the thumbnail of this episode, we've got some new artwork. Look at that. Look at that. And also, if you look on our Twitter, we've also got some new artwork. Woo! Like, we got the new logo, which we made, which I think we use a font called, like, Big John Pro. And I no one really wants the font, I'm sure, but it was just a funny name, and then we stuck with it, and it looks good. I think people compared it to Roblox at first, so that's always a good start. But otherwise, I think it looks really nice, and generally for the thumbnail style as well, you can see we've got us back to back.
Yeah,
and
so what you see there,
it's much better.
What you see there is going to be our official box art. So the thumbnail for this episode is the official what's called box art, or show art, should we say. So if you have a look at the actual show itself on Spotify, the icon next to the text, which says Help in Second Podcast, that is this thumbnail. And that is what's going to officially stay there. So, yeah, and you can expect the thumbnail style to evolve.
Yeah. I mean, it's early days, isn't it, as well? So, like, you know, next let's go in August, it could look like a mess.
It could be. You never know.
Who knows? We could just keep overlapping every single week on top of each other, you know, with like the opacity slightly lowered on each one.
And just eventually just turns
make it just look like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then,
that'd be hilarious.
April Fool's Day upside down one, you know. Be good.
Oh, we got to do that.
We have to. That'd be good. But I think we've got a new nice, smoother sort of style now here.
We wanted a fresh lick of paint. We've given it a fresh lick of paint.
Yeah, and we've gone with a nice gradient background and stuff as well, which you said you nicked from Twitter Fleets. Is that right?
Twitter Fleets gave me inspiration. So we were looking at different types of colour backgrounds, different types of style of backgrounds, and then Twitter Fleets, I was doing a fleet of when we put the eyes emoji. I looked at the different types of backgrounds and I was like, oh, this is actually like a kind of gradient from 6 different points. So I started experimenting, and then we came up with what we've got. So yeah, good inspiration from Twitter Fleets.
I didn't know you were finished. I didn't.
No, that's it.
I thought you just like completely just cut out or whatever, because you just went, and this is what we got.
That's it. One of the things that we've also changed as well, which you won't actually see because this is all kind of like behind the scenes stuff, but me and Kai are going to be evenly sharing the workload. It's all going to be evenly distributed, much to Kai's detriment probably, because he didn't do it before.
Yeah. I'll get Coda to do it. Coda needs to pay rent.
Yeah, he needs to shove his weight a little bit, doesn't he?
You just hear like,
that's the saying.
Squirrel! like in the middle of it or something.
So normally what would happen with all the previous episodes is I would literally do near enough everything. Every now and then I would ask Kai to make a thumbnail, but I would do everything. But now we've got ourselves both set up with the full editing suite, and both of us are going to be alternating the work. So you won't see it, but I'll be editing one week, Carl will be editing the next, so on and so forth. Carl will do the podcast artwork one week, I'll do it the next, so on and so forth. You get the idea. We'll take ownership of our own alternating episodes.
Wow.
Talking of episodes as well, though, we're going to be aiming for 30 minutes episodes now.
Or 30 dillilids.
Or 30 dillililil. Yes, if you hear that dillililil 30 times, you know we're done.
But yeah, that is just for the sake of literally. We used to try and push for 40 minutes, and I think that was just a bad idea. Because by the point we did that, you know, we were trying to push for more ideas, and when there's not so many ideas that we can do, and then there's not so much we can like expand on, it just became a little bit difficult sometimes.
I think the main thing that we realised we were doing a little bit, like we always want our episodes to be high quality, but we were also doing a bit of quantity over quality.
Yeah.
And we realised that was a really bad idea, but we'd also got into the habit of doing 40-minute episodes. Despite us introducing initially, we were doing 30 minutes, so we're going back to our roots. We're definitely staying with this now.
Yeah.
And obviously, if we run past our time with good quality conversation, who cares? We'll run past our time with good quality conversation. But we're not going to look to, you know, flesh out an episode beyond what would actually be a good episode by itself.
Spot on. But otherwise, we've also got a new episode style in general, Fraser.
Yes.
So we're going to bring in some segments. So we could start off with an interview with a special guest. I think we've got a couple of special guests planned. We mentioned previously that Thomas Pearson has been interested in joining in for an episode. We've also mentioned Sophie Texas has been wanted to join an episode as well. And I'm sure we can get other people as well. I know that I'm sure a few of our friends will probably be happy to do like the odd little showcase. Like I'm sure maybe Thomas be filming, Mr. Filming Boy. Maybe Audrey come in again. Aiden, I'm sure, be down for it too. So on.
We'll get a nice variety on.
And we'll also get, like, you know, some, like, special guests. Like, next week we can happily announce we got Dan TDM.
Bloody hell, when did you get that booking sorted?
He doesn't know about it yet, but he will do.
Oh, brilliant. Imagine.
Now, like, people are going to be, like, really upset if we don't actually have that.
Yeah, look what you've done. You kind of set a false expectation now.
I'm so sorry. But then after that anyway, we're going to talk about what's going on in our lives. We're going to start talking about what's going on in your lives, as well as like specific topics, events, news, get some insights into it. And also, you know, just general things. I think that's quite happy to say. General things.
I think one of the things we also tried in the last season was we tried to try and link things together quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it was quite a nice, funny thing to be able to go, talking of waffles, I went and bought some the other week. When in reality...
That wasn't very funny.
No, it really wasn't. Now, we kind of want to... We want to define what we're going to be doing nice and easily. So it really is, you know, the average conversation, because we like our chat show podcast, as I mentioned earlier. But... we can also focus in on specific things that are going on, debate it, flesh out beyond it. So let's just say a new iPhone comes out. What do we think of it? What could be better? If you were to create your own phone, what would you do? What would you hate? What would happen in 2040 when we have the iPhone 76? Will it have X-ray vision? You know, that sort of things. We'll flesh things out. It won't be shit talking, because the thing I hate the most about podcasts is when people extensively flesh out something to the point where it's literally just ramble. We don't want ramble.
Yeah.
We want chat. We want good quality chat.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be aiming to do.
Spot on. So anyway, let's move in to our first segment.
I don't know about you, Kai, but lately I've been having a little bit of retail therapy for myself.
Yeah, me too, Fraser. Me too.
I used to be in that habit of I really wanted to save up as much money as possible. So, you know, I'm sorting myself out for when I do move out. But lately I've just been like, I want some new things.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a really good thing to be in that mindset. Other
sure.
times you're like, do I really want to pay this much?
You need to be responsible with it, that's for sure. One of the things I bought for myself recently, I know in the previous season I talked about how I got a new bed and new car and stuff, but one of the things I recently bought for myself, which is like a proper, really big treat, is I bought myself a brand new TV.
You can't eat that.
Oh yeah, it's a treat, but not in that way.
Okay.
You could try eating it, but it would really hurt your teeth, and it'd be a really expensive meal.
I'm sure there's someone that's eaten a TV before.
Oh my god, I kind of want to see it. I want to see someone attempt it. Although not on a new flat screen ones, just like on an old box TV. Like, you know, where it's like...
the old VHS player TVs and stuff.
Exactly. Give that a go.
Yeah.
That'd probably
I've still got one of them, you know.
Do you?
Yeah, it's in my dad's room.
Oh, fair play.
Anyway,
well, I don't have
your
that.
TV.
Yeah, I've gone and bought a brand new TV, and it's been a proper big treat to myself. Because I normally don't look to spend as much as I did on the bloody TV. But I thought, you know what? I've been eyeing this up for such a long time. It's been on my list. I kind of want to do it. And I've been holding out as well. So for previous sales, I've been looking to see if it goes on sale and get something cheaper. And then when it has gone on sale, I've missed it because it's gone out of stock and everyone's literally jumping on the same deal. I was just like, damn, I can't believe it's not on sale at all. The one that I was eyeing up, it's an LG OLED TV. So that gives you a general idea, as it is, as to how much it costs. They don't go below £1,000. Other than when they're on sale. So I missed it. I was looking for the lowest end LG OLED TV, and I was looking to buy that, and I missed it when it was on sale. And for quite a long time, it was sitting at about £1,098. And I was like, it's going to go on sale somewhere. It's going to go on sale somewhere. It's going to go on sale somewhere. And I set up price alerts and everything, so when it does go on sale, And I was like, if it hits 1,000, I'll buy it. It hit 1,050, and then went back up because it's some niche store that only had like 5 TVs in stock. And then down a couple more pounds, back up a couple more pounds. I was like, oh, for goodness sake, can it just go properly on sale? And then the January sales ended. Apparently 1098 was a sale in itself, when that's actually a pretty regular price. And they stuck it back up to 1199.
Jesus.
And I was like, that's not what I want.
I'd be like that too.
I was like, that's not what I want. But what they didn't do is the model that was more expensive, they didn't up that in price. And what I can do is, because there's no way it's going to be on sale now until like mid-year.
I think I found the exact one you're talking about.
It should be. The one that I was eyeing up was the LG OLED 55 BX6 or 5 LB.
Yeah, that's one that I've just found.
Yeah, so that's the budget OLED one. That's what I was eyeing up. So they stuck that all up. It is
now 1199 again.
Yeah, and it got shoved up to that price. I was like, oh, for goodness sake, I've missed the sales now because they're not going to do more technology sales until summer.
Yep.
And then when it's around Prime Day, if they do it in summer this time. And next time, it will be probably Black Friday and all that again. So I was like, well, and they forgot to stick up the model above it, which was the OLED 55 CX 5 LB or 6 LA, depending on which one you got. So that was 1299. But the thing is, I know this is getting expensive as it is. With work, I get discount off of shopping at Curry's PC World.
Lucky bastard.
So literally, just by working where I work, I get a good discount where I can buy Curry's PC World vouchers for less than their actual value. So I ended up buying those vouchers. I think it's like almost 10% discount. I bought those vouchers and I essentially got 10% off of the higher end TV, and it ended up costing around about, if not cheaper, the price of the budget TV, which went up in price. And it was a bit impulsive, to be honest. I'm normally not that stupid with my money, but I was like, oh, do you know what? I've saved quite a lot last year. I've got my Christmas
yourself,
money.
Haven't you?
I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to put that Christmas money and the stuff that I saved last year into the budget and go, yeah, let's just go and get it. So it was already a discount from the one that I got, but it was a little bit more than I wanted to spend in the first place. And yeah, it was really, really good. But the main problem which I had with it is it smelled like shit. Oh my god! I had, for the first week and a half, if not 2 weeks, like it's coming up to 2 weeks of ownership now, it smells of shit. Whenever I turned it on, it had this really weird and kind of concerning electrical smell. It smelled a bit like electric burning, but also of electric warmth. And I was Googling it. And there's quite a few owners who were like, oh, I actually sent mine back and I got a new one and it was worse. And, oh, I sent mine back and I got a new one and it was fine. Or I got an engineer to come out, they replaced the part and it still smells. Or I got an engineer to come out and they replaced the part and it works fine. And the fifth and final one, I waited 2 weeks and it was all right. So what I've been doing...
You're waiting 2 weeks and hoping that it's going to be all right.
Well, what I've been doing is... because obviously I can't watch TV whilst I'm working, it's in a different room. It's in my bedroom. Yeah. I've had my TV just on. I've just had it on for nobody to watch, but I've just had it on. And I've just been letting it kind of wear into itself. And I think it's finally getting to the point now where it's no longer smelling as much.
You could open the window and have like a fan also on it, you know?
That's what I did. I had the window open so the smell could easily quickly go out the room. But it wouldn't help get rid of the smell.
Right.
And what people online were saying was that's actually the smell of like the new fire retardant stuff heating up for the first time from factory.
Right, okay.
That's what some people are saying, whilst other people are going, yeah, electric fault. And it's a really hard one to tell, but I think it's got to be the whole fire retardant stuff.
I think that would make more sense for the sake of, you know, it's something new that's not been, I guess, it's been tested and that's about it.
But I've never had that before. But I guess the last time I bought a TV... It must be a thing on new
TVs.
Yeah, the last time I bought a TV was like 11, 12, maybe 13 years ago. It was the first TV for my bedroom. And I've still got it. It's like 25, 30 inches. And it's like 720p. It's awful. So to get an upgrade from that to 4K OLED, yeah, nice jump.
Yeah, very nice jump.
Anyway, yeah, so that's no longer smelling, but that's a nice little treat for myself with retard therapy.
Very nice.
You got yourself something new as well, didn't you?
I did. We were talking about this with a few different people, and I've been eyeing it up for a while, and I thought, do I want it? Yes. No. Yes. And I decided to get myself a new phone, hugely for the sake of cameras, quality, storage, and battery.
Yeah.
And just a better kind of display and whatever else in general, you know?
Yeah.
If I'm out and whatever else, I can get like a really good quality thing. And I decided to get a new phone. Hugely, one of the biggest factors that decided it for me, like my old phone was an 8 Plus, so that's already, you know, 2.5, 3 years old by this point.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. I can't remember right now, to be honest. But I thought about it really carefully, and I was like, right, if I listen to a song or any music, my battery goes down about 40% in an hour. That's crazy. Not the best. It's not the best when you're traveling either, you know? So I thought quite carefully. I was like, yeah, you know what? That's probably the huge deciding factor there. Because when I'm out and about, you know, if I'm driving, I like to have music playing from my phone because I'm not a massive fan of the stuff on the radio too much. I mean, I do like the odd radio thing, but it's not like my kind of thing. I like having the sat nav and whatever else on it as well. And I had a decent month last month, so I was like, yeah, I'll treat myself. And like, once I sell the phone and whatever else, you know, I'm not really making much of a loss. But yeah, I got the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I went out a little bit more and got the 256GB model. Because I thought, you know, 4K footage and whatever else, might as well have that little bit extra storage.
That's the proper big boy there.
It is the proper big boy, and it's a little bit bigger than my old phone, but it's very nice. It's been hard to get used to, you know, swiping up for the home button and whatever else. And you know when you swipe up from the bottom of your phone usually, and you get like the menu of the torch, the clock, and whatever else.
Yeah,
that's now you have to swipe down the top right.
All right, yeah.
But otherwise, you know, I've had my phone off charge for 5 hours, and I've been using it pretty consistently today, and it's lost 10%. So that's huge
really
upgrade.
Good.
Yeah, I've listened to music. I've been on TikTok for an hour probably as well. I'm over the moon with it. And surprisingly, this is one of the things that I know that you don't like. I have not noticed the notch at all.
I hate the notch so much.
I think you grow to get used to it really easily.
Yeah, probably.
Like, I just haven't noticed it. But I do very much like how everything's all screen. Photography on it as well. Amazing. I've taken some pictures of the cats, the dog. Night mode. Blows my mind away, to be honest. How clear you can get like a night shot. That is using a long exposure shot. So you get like, it has to be perfectly still to get a good one. At 30 seconds. Otherwise, the default you can get is 10 seconds where you hold it and you can kind of like, it's got like an axis in the middle, so you can kind of like try and keep it in the same spot so it doesn't move around too much.
That's good.
Which is quite handy. But if you want a 30-second one, you gotta have like it on a tripod or something like that, or like hold it very still or whatever. And that's what I did down the beach and froze my fingers.
But it was worth it.
Oh, it was worth it. Amazing shot. Probably would have been worth it a bit more, you know, towards probably more morning when more of the galaxy gets shown, but I won't bother about that. That's fine.
You got other days to do that.
Exactly. Early days of having the phone, but so far, definitely worth the upgrade. It's been such a good phone.
That's good.
And also, it comes with, you know, when you get like a new iPhone or whatever, and you get the shitty like Apple cable.
Oh god, yeah.
And they're really like bit flimsy, not too strong. They're usually like USB-B cables or whatever. By default, you don't get a charging plug anymore, which is a bit sucky that. But you do get a USB-C to Lightning, and that is so good.
They're really fast, aren't they?
They're really fast and they're strong. The cables are really strong. To the point
that's good.
Where I got myself an extra cable.
Yeah.
I got myself a 2-meter one because I like having that bit of extra length, you know, like
for sure.
Not to like stretch the cable out too much. And oh my god, it's like it feels stronger. It feels like less flimsy. It's just so nice. And I feel like it's going to last a lot longer. So I'll keep that updated within the next like year or two, obviously.
Yeah, fingers crossed it does. The only experience I've had with USB-C is charging my AirPods. Because
so
I don't have USB-C on my phone charging. But oh my god, yeah, the AirPods charge like literally so quickly with it.
Yeah, I think my phone charged up from 40% to something like 80% in 25 minutes or something like that yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And like whenever I put it on at night, I'm happy just to take it back off charge if I wanted to. Face detection or whatever is really good, except for when you're in a supermarket at the moment. Yeah. The one thing that really that baffled me the other day was, how do I use Apple Pay? When you usually use it. So you got to double click the lock button.
On the that makes sense because you have to double click the home button.
Exactly. But you do need Face ID to use it, but you can use a passcode, so that's the alternative at the moment.
Makes sense.
Until you can take a mask off, because I tried to set up a profile with my mask, and it wouldn't let me. It said, there is an obstruction blocking your face, and I was like, yeah, no shit.
I'm being safe!
But, otherwise, I'm very proud of it. Very happy with it. Very happy to take some very soon photos and whatever else with it in the future.
Nice. And finally, we've had a little bit of fun lately. Well, I have, Kai hasn't. It's finally snowed down in the south where I live. We've had lovely wintry weather. We normally don't have it at all down in the south because, it's just generally warmer down here. But finally, the weatherman was correct. He promised it and pulled through. We had snow today, and Beta went out in it literally twice within 2-3 hours, and she absolutely loved it. She was covered in snow. And you know what I love the most about dogs in snow?
Go on.
Is that, or especially with Beta anyway, when they get snow on their fur, they look adorable. Like, Beta's pure black, so to have white snow on her, it just looks adorable. It looks like they're having so much fun.
Can't wait to open the back door and lose my dog when it does eventually snow.
Yeah, the weatherman didn't pull through for you though, did it?
Nope. It's what, I woke up this morning and there was a little bit. Yeah. There was a tiny bit on the floor, but only right at the back of the garden, on the logs and whatever else, and the tiny bits on grass. And I went back to sleep for an hour, woke up, all gone. And then it rained a little bit, and since then it snowed for 20 seconds.
Wow.
And then it went back to rain, then nothing. And it's still meant to see the snow. No.
Oh, that's sad.
It's still meant to snow. BBC at the moment is saying it's meant to snow now. That's not happening. My weather app is saying there is a 10% chance of snow right now for the next 2 hours or so.
Yep.
And then there is a 60% chance at 1 a.m.
Wow.
And that's it.
Wow. Let's hope that at least one of them pulls through, eh?
Fingers crossed. I would like a little bit,
For sure. Especially if Koda'd see it as well.
Oh, exactly. I want to get a nice photo of him just being lost in it,
Aww.
Could play Where's Wally Coda edition.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed.
39.15. That was a nice, easy one. Anyway, that's all for this week's episode. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Help! I'm Stuck in a Podcast! We upload a new episode every single Wednesday, so make sure you follow our Spotify for more. Follow us over on Twitter as well, at Stuck in a Podcast, at FraserIRL, and at Kai Ross-Best.
That's the best one.
Yeah, shut up. That's debatable. We hope you enjoyed the return episode, and let us know what you thought. Let us know everything that you thought by tweeting us over on Twitter. There's more where this came from, so follow for more. Thank you once again for listening, and have a good rest of your week.
Bye.
Bitch.